I refuse to lean into the hyperbolic statements of whether the Marvel Cinematic Universe is dead or if it is saved again because of one film. The exaggerated statements about the entire movie universe after every single release have gotten so tiring that I barely wanted to talk about Marvel ever since my Love and Thunder video in 2022. I haven't been as invested in this universe since then, but I have to admit, Thunderbolts may have just won me back. Alright, quick pause. I truly don't want to talk about the implications this has on the future of the MCU, because one great movie does not mean that they suddenly have a good plan for the overarching story. I've learned that lesson before. This video is just for the purpose of me explaining why I think Thunderbolts is one of the best superhero projects I've seen in the last many years. In a world that is starting to move past the superhero craze that dominated movies for over a decade, Thunderbolts reinvents itself just enough to feel fresh and inspiring. It made me very excited, something I haven't been while watching comic book films since 2021. This is why Thunderbolts gave me hope. This is a Marvel film that finally treats its characters like real people again. These are actual characters with flaws, regrets, and struggles. Yeah, it's another group similar to the Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy, of these hopeless losers who become a family and learn how to be selfless heroes. It has been done before, but to me it felt different and fresh enough to be exciting. One of the differences is that this group is controlled by the same person who tries to get rid of them all by having them kill each other. Valentina is the manipulator of them all, and she has no faith in them having redemption. That's part of what makes it so satisfying to see the team working together, because Valentina never thought it could happen. I enjoyed every member of the team more than I expected. I was also happy to see Taskmaster die after 1 minute of screen time, because I felt she would have been such a pointless filler character if she did become part of the team. So, good decision there, I thought. Yelena and Alexi's dynamic was great just as it was in the Black Widow movie, and John Walker was so good and improved from his confusing arc in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Ghost in her first appearance since Ant-Man and the Wasp was the weakest of the group, but still pretty good. With all these characters coming from scattered projects across the connected universe, I imagine it would be hard to remember who some of these people are for people who aren't Marvel nerds, but I think this film did a great job of reintroducing these characters and filling us in on their backstories so that we care about them in this story without needing to be invested in the past projects. The defining aspect of the Thunderbolts as a group is their regrets in their past. Yelena, Walker, Ava, even Alexi all have those moments of their past that they think they can never escape. They all feel trapped and alone, and through this journey they have to learn that they can have that redemption that Valentina is keeping from them. Then there's Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, the 100-year-old man that has been in these films since 2011. Now he gets to be somewhat of a mentor character. He's the one who has already been through that redemption arc that the rest of the group is in the middle of. He was used for evil missions just like Yelena and Ava, and he's a super soldier like Walker and Alexi. He has all the same issues and regrets that the rest of them have, but he's that symbol of hope for redemption in the future for the rest of them. I really loved that use of him for this new generation of Marvel heroes. The villain of this movie, Bob, Sentry, blew me away. Bob matches the hero's struggles in every way. He's actually just a normal guy who feels hopeless because of his regrets and mistakes. He looks ridiculous when he becomes Sentry, because he is actually just a regular mentally unstable guy off the street who has been given supernatural powers to be used by Valentina. The decision to make the villain of this film someone who our heroes have absolutely zero chance of harming was fantastic. This is nothing like the generic superhero third act with a physical fight between two unearthly powers. When our heroes fight Sentry physically, they get embarrassed, and I loved that. That allowed our heroes to focus on saving people rather than defeating the big bad. The stakes are finally felt in the climax of a superhero film because we get to see the people in the street in danger and the ways that the team saves the people who can't fight for themselves. And in that moment, Valentina finally realizes something. She wanted to create Sentry to be her own powerful superhero invention, but she realizes it's not the powers that make a hero. It's the selfless desire to save others that makes a hero. So she discovers that these losers that she's kept down for so long are more heroic than her Sentry project could ever be. I thought that was a phenomenal moment. The way that Sentry killed people off in this finale was so creepy visually. I really liked that, and I think his powers were perfect for this character-based story. Our heroes can't beat him physically. They had to beat him by deconstructing his mind. The real conflict is inside the minds of all these characters, heroes and villain. So when Sentry kills people by turning them into black smoke and shadows, he actually sends them into the void, into their most traumatizing memories. Sure, this is kind of a convenient plot device to create some character development, but I obviously prefer this to a generic boss battle. Traveling into tragic memories is a great way to explore these characters nevertheless. Bob needs healing from his mistakes. He needs to know that he's not alone, and this group of heroes are the ones that can help him see that. They all understand where he's coming from, so they can rescue him from that feeling of meaninglessness. What better way to heal the emptiness of a character than to physically go to the moments in the past that broke them? I thought this finale was very good, very thoughtful, and a great change of pace from other comic book movies. In a funny way, I felt like the struggles of these characters resembled the identity issue of the Marvel Universe itself. Yelena feels like life is meaningless ever since the death of her sister, Natasha. These movies have also felt a bit more meaningless ever since the deaths of our favorite characters, like Natasha, like Tony, like Steve Rogers. But as Yelena and the rest of the Thunderbolts gained more hope for their futures, I too gained more hope for the future of the MCU as a series. The characters got their spark back, as did Marvel itself. Sorry, is that a stretch? Yep, I'm doing it again, trying to relate my enjoyment of this film to the future of the series. It's a habit, but hey, all I know for sure is that this movie was far more artistic, mature, emotionally resonant, and exciting than I expected it to be. It really did impress me. It felt like a distinct voice creating a story with passion. Whether it was director Jake Schreier or any of the writers, it was so good to see a Marvel film that didn't feel overshadowed by the company disrupting the story. I missed this character-focused Marvel that I enjoyed for so many years. I can hope that Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday will be as creative and inspiring as this, but as for now, I can say I really enjoyed Thunderbolts as its own thing.